Hey guys, so welcome to Module 1, Lesson 1. Module 1 is going to be all about understanding and resetting mindset. Lesson 1 is going to be specifically talking about the power of mindset in weight loss. We are going to cover what the heck is mindset, why is mindset so important in weight loss or reaching any goal, and how can we identify our current mindset and determine where is it driving us and create a more intentional one if we need to go in a new direction. So if you have followed me for any length of time or listened to my videos, you know that I emphasize heavily the importance of mindset. And part of that is because, as you may have heard me talk about before, I had almost a lifelong journey to losing weight, to getting to a place where I really felt my best, felt confident, and also just had consistent healthy habits and struggled to really do that for a very long time. And the reason is because I think this missing piece, this piece was missing for me. I was focusing so much on what I needed to do and not what I was thinking, which drives the rest, which I'm going to talk about a little bit more. But once I was able to do that, not only did I lose so much of the struggle behind my weight loss and getting healthy, but also I was able to finally be consistent and maintain my healthy habits that I've been trying to for so long. So I'm really, really passionate about this topic, and it is not just a fluffy term for me. If you ask me at any time a weight loss question, I likely am going to incorporate some kind of mindset because I do feel it's been that important. And that is what has helped me to lose over 35 pounds and keep it off for a number of years. So I highly encourage you to listen to this video and please take what I am encouraging you to do and the action steps that I'm going to give you. Please do all of them because it will make all the difference as you move forward. It is the foundation that we're going to put everything else on as we go forward. All right, so let's get started. So what the heck is mindset? It's a term we hear thrown around all the time. It's kind of a trendy word, but it actually does have a definition and a meaning. And it is kind of important that we know what that is. So the definition of mindset, the way I like to think about it, is our collection of thoughts. It is what we are setting our mind on, the collection of thoughts we can have about anything. It can be about a furniture. It can be about our house. It could be about our husband, our partner, our kids, our life, ourselves, our goals. We're going to talk mainly about our weight loss goals for the sake of this program, but it is our collection of thoughts about something. Problem is, most of us don't even know what we're thinking about things. Now, beliefs that fit into mindset as well are simply thoughts on repeat. So mindset is our collection of thoughts about something, and beliefs are thoughts on repeat. So why does this matter? Why is this so important? Well, the first thing is because our thinking drives all things. You've probably heard me say that before, but it is actually true. And it actually is so helpful to really know and understand that and how that works. So there's the circumstance, which is say our weight loss goal, want to lose 10 pounds, or our weight is a circumstance. And that is something that is neutral. It is something circumstantial. Anyone around us could see that. If we stand on the scale, we weigh a certain amount, or that we have written down, I want to lose 10 pounds. We have a thought about that circumstance, which might be, I can't do this. Or it might be, I can totally do this. And the way that we think about that circumstance creates a feeling. Our feeling drives an action or inaction, which produces a result. So why does that matter? Because if we don't know what we're thinking, we can't change our actions, and our thinking drives our actions. What most of us do is we just try to do. We try to go to the gym, we try to eat differently, but we don't change our actual identity, our mindset. And that's what we actually need to shift to have those sustainable results. The other piece is habitual thinking versus intentional thinking. We are going through our day-to-day and don't even realize how many thoughts that we have on repeat from the day, the week, the year before. And we are literally creating the same life that we have had day after day because we've been thinking those same thoughts. We have this cycle that is going in the background and we don't even know that it's there. We're literally on autopilot, not only with what we're doing, but with what we're thinking. And half of the time we don't even realize it. As humans, we think something like 70,000 thoughts a day, and 90% of those are on repeat. Well, most of us have goals. We want to go different places. We want to lose weight. We want to build a business, whatever it is. So to do that, to take different actions, to build different habits, we have to be creating different thoughts, or at least evaluating what our current ones are that are getting us where we're at. So I'm going to show you a tool that will be helpful to see what your current mindset is, that will help demonstrate what I just mentioned, but also help you see what your current mindset is, question it, and then decide if you want to keep it or change it to something different. So just give me a minute here. If I can find my screen and share it with you guys. Funny story, I already recorded this video once and then realized I had no sound. So I got to work on my mindset to re-record this again. And one thing that I heard a while ago is when that happens is just think it's going to be better the second time around. Because usually we're like so annoyed, we're ready to move on to the next step. And it's like, oh my God, I have to do that all over again. You can apply that to anything. And I heard one time a mindset shift is it's going to be so much better when you do it the second time because you already have practice. All right, so this is the self-coaching model. This is something I use in my daily life, like probably, I don't even know how many times a day. And it just demonstrates exactly what I just shared with you, that there's a circumstance, something in the world that exists. We have a thought about it. Our thinking creates our feelings, which drives our actions and produces our results. So you can reference back to this with any situation, any challenge that you are working on, and you can actually fill it in. So the first step, the action step that I'm going to give you leaving this video is to work on identifying what are you thinking about yourself and your goals, because they are literally creating your current result that you're at. Say you weigh 150 pounds and you want to weigh 140 pounds. Whatever you're doing right now, the actions here are creating that result of 150 pounds. The way that you're feeling right now is driving those actions that you are taking to create that result of 150 pounds. Your thinking about your weight is driving everything else. So we want to get that all out and understand what that is as data. We don't want to judge it at all. So then we can question it, which I'll talk about in a minute here. So this is something that you can use. And I want to give you a quick example. I'm going to fly through these other slides that are not relevant to what we're talking about here. So say the circumstance is the gym. Your gym's on your plan, very factual, your alarm goes off. Your thought might be, I don't want to go, I don't want to get up. Your feeling is likely unmotivated. When you're feeling unmotivated, we stay in bed, we don't go to the gym, we might oversleep, we might think about how we should go, but we don't actually go. And the result that we're creating is our plan's not followed and our goal is not accomplished. Then we can look at the intentional model, which would be something, if we're aware of this, we can actually practice this ahead of time. And this is what I do. Actually, I've been doing it so long that this is almost on repeat now for me. I have that first model play through my head, but I create this one. The gym's on my plan. It's Thursday morning, gym is on my plan. I'm going to the gym at a certain time. My alarm goes off. When that first thought pops up, I push it right out. And instead, I replace it with, I'm going to feel so much better if I go, and I committed to this. The feeling that that creates is compelled, committed. And then the action that I take most of the time, literally 95% of the time, because I've learned to do this, is I get up and go to the gym. And then of course, the result that I've created is I have a new habit that I go to the gym when my alarm goes off. My plan is followed and I have made progress on my goals. Now, the majority of my life, I turned my alarm off and maybe went to the gym like 1 out of 5, maybe 1 out of 10 times. But once I learned this, I was able to apply it every single day and make it work for me. Okay, so now how do we identify our current mindset and current thinking around ourselves and our goals so we can actually shift it? There's a couple of steps and tools here that I'm going to share with you, and then your action is going to be to take these and actually implement them today, tomorrow, and ideally ongoing so you can start this practice. Number one is we have to figure out what the heck is your mindset, what the heck are your thinking about yourself and your goals. And one tool that we like to use in coaching is we call a thought download. And I'm going to switch back to the other screen here. No, here, okay. It's a thought download. You can literally take a notebook and a pen and set a timer on your phone and literally write for 5 minutes. What are all your thoughts? Ask yourself that question. What are all of my thoughts about this goal, about myself? No judgment. Just literally put pen to paper and get all of your thoughts out. It might not make sense. It might make sense. You're likely going to come up with some things that you didn't know were there, or that you're like, whoa, oh, that's not good. That's not something that's helpful or whatever, but try to remove all of that judgment. We want to do that for 5 minutes. If you can't write it out, you don't have a notebook, you don't have a place to do that, use the voice notes in your phone, or just literally start to become aware of all of your thoughts about it. So that's the first step, is we want to get them out of our head. The second step, and I guess to go along with that, going forward, I really encourage you to try to just start thinking about your thinking. I have said this before in videos. I think this was one of the most valuable tools and skills that I have learned in my weight loss journey, is to just start listening to and paying attention to the thoughts rolling through my brain about all the things. It is because then we go to this next step, but you're now aware of them all the time. Sometimes it's helpful. Sometimes it's a little bit scary because you can't go back once you start thinking about your thinking, but I highly encourage you to do it. It's so helpful. And once we do that, then we want to start questioning our thoughts and what we have in our brain. And we want to know and understand that we don't have to believe every single thing that we think. And for most of our thoughts, they're not even our thoughts. They're things that we've heard and borrowed from other people, other places, read somewhere, saw in a magazine, and we just kind of started to adopt them as true and then played them on repeat, and now they're beliefs. So we really want to make sure that we are intentionally deciding which ones we want to keep in the day-to-day because of this right here. It's creating a feeling, it's driving an action, and it's producing a result. So we want to make sure that we like what our brain is telling us every single day because it's driving everything else. So that's the first step, is find out what your current mindset is, what your current thoughts are. Do a thought download. Give yourself 5 minutes and do it. The second one is we want to look at them. We want to just picture them as like things in our hands. No judgment, just like, that's interesting. That's what I like to say to myself. So it's not like, oh my God, that's horrible. That's stupid. That's interesting. Wonder where that came from. And then we can start to ask ourselves some questions. Is this true? But more importantly, is it benefiting me to continue thinking this when we know it's creating a specific result in our life? We have a limited amount of energy. Is this what we really want to be spending our energy on? I heard this a while ago. We're not responsible for our first thought, but we are responsible for our second one. So kind of like I showed you with that gym example, my first thought was, I don't want to go. I don't feel like this. But I know that that's optional to continue thinking. So then I choose that second one that I showed you. So you want to start to question it. Is it true? Is it benefiting me to continue thinking about this? And then what do I want to think going forward about this? So once you get all of those thoughts out, read through them, you can plug them into this model just like I did here. Sorry, that's something else. Just like I did here. Literally write out the circumstance. What is one thought that you pulled out of all of the thoughts you got out of your brain? How is it causing you to feel? What is the action it's driving? And what is your result? And then you can decide, what do you, this was the right one. What do you want to think going forward that's actually going to create the feeling, the action, the result going forward? So you can actually start and put in what is the result that you want? What are the actions you need to take? How do you need to feel every single day? And then what are the thoughts you need to start programming in your brain to create that feeling, to drive that action, to create that result? And I call these thought habits, and I like to practice them every single day. And once you start doing it, it's really hard to stop. So, but also really helpful for you. Okay, so for your action step, your homework after this video, do a thought download, plug it into this model, and start really just becoming aware of what you're thinking in the day-to-day and what results it's creating for you, questioning it, start becoming the watcher and thinking about your thinking. I will see you in the next video.